Hello everyone, today we're going to have a look at advanced steel again, specifically the bill of materials, how we generate that, and one of the errors that might come up. So when you're completing an exercise in a textbook, you'll find that the files were already set up for you typically, so that you don't have to do any setup before that. So when one of my students decided that he's going to build a building, he came up into the following with the following error. And if that happens to you, then note that you can do the following to fix that. So what we have is a building. We've got some beams and some columns and some joints, some bolts around the show, and we would like to get that out on a bill of materials. So typically what we do is we go to our BOM template, and that will, there's our BOM templates. We can expand that, and there we can see that they've got this list of elements over here that we can generate. There's our beam list, and if we click on that and we want to generate that, it says identical part detection has not been started. Do you want to continue? Yes. And then it comes up with this error, and this is where people get confused. No matching base objects found. Please check the selection definition. If the property class is switched on, a value beam plate is required. So what you're seeing over here is an error message that's generated by the application programming or the coding within the software itself. It's not overly descriptive. If you had to go and search for it in Google, you will find the answer to it typically, and sometimes you don't. But in this case, it's quite a confusing message. It doesn't tell you how to fix the problem. So really all it comes down to is that you need to go and change one of the settings within your numbering, because that's really what it's trying to do. It's trying to number these columns. And you'll see that you've got your general, your special, your standard part template, and so on. But the big thing to do over here is just switch on that you must process the assemblies. And you can see it's got a start number and an increment number. So usually when we add parts to a building, then we might want to increment that by a step of 1,000 or 2,000 or however many, so that we can separate the items from each other quite easily. And there it is. So after that, that's all we really need. We just switch that on, process assemblies, apply, okay. Then we're going to run the bill of materials, the takeoff again, and it gives us the numbering that it's done. There's our parts list. We're going to go to the parts list, the beam list, and there you can see it's creating the model extract. It's busy processing the model. And after it's done with the processing, it opens up this list over here. Now this is the list that we need to save into a very specific folder in our BOM folder there, beamlist.rdf. We go save. We can also export this file as a PDF, HTML, Excel worksheet or text file. We're not going to do that, and then we can close that. Alright, the fact that we've saved it now into our bill of materials or BOM folder means that we can also have a look at our document manager. It's going to look in that folder and see if we've got any lists that are available to us, and there we can see them. There's our beam list. There we can see it on the preview. That is what our list looks like. So you can drag this box a bit bigger, have a good look at whatever list is getting generated, and that gives you a good display. Alright, and the same is true of your other elements over here. If we do have bolts in here, then we would be able to find them from our parts list. You can see that just above there. Anchor, bolt exploded, bolt list, and so on. Alright, if you click on any one of those, then it's going to generate that for you as well. So if you do have bolts in this project, then it's going to come up with another list, and we can see we've only got a few in this this project. It hasn't been developed very much, but there they are. And again, you would go and save this in your BOM folder. Close that, and then have a look at your document manager, and on your bolts list there you can also see that. So it's really easy to create some parts or some bill of materials for your project. Great improvement over what we have in AutoCAD. Of course, this is a special program for steel detailers, and it should also make your workflow or your daily activities a lot easier to manage. And I hope that you enjoy advanced steel and use it within the industry. Until next time.